characters, events, and occurrences in this story are purely fictional. Any resemblance to real persons is purely coincidental. Humanity has awaited for generations. Since the dawn of time, people have longed for the day when the world would finally know peace. But this Mouood, emerging from the shadows, is he the fulfillment of that promise, or the beginning of something else?
The world is on the brink of explosion. America, as always, has its hands tightly gripping the arteries of the world. The Middle East burns in fire and blood. Europe is exhausted from economic wars, and China waits patiently in the shadows. But no one can imagine that everything will change in just a matter of days. Russia and Ukraine, an endless war. Putin, the mastermind of geopolitical chess. But is he just another pawn in a much bigger game? Behind closed doors, strategies are being drawn, decisions are being made, ones that will send millions to their death. No one truly seeks peace. Or rather, no one believes in peace without bloodshed.
We are the leaders of free world.
But all of this is about to end. No one knows where he came from. No human has ever lived in this desolate place. No sign of life has ever endured in this frozen wasteland. But today nature reveals a secret, one that perhaps was never meant to be discovered. He has no name, no memory, no emotions stirring inside him. He knows only one thing, a terrifying truth that seems etched into his very existence. With nothing but a single thought, he can summon death upon anyone. For the first time, he lays eyes on a living creature. But this encounter is not a mere meeting. It is the beginning of catastrophe. A moment later, the great beast collapses onto the snow, its breath silenced, its heart stopped. No wounds, no pain, no warning, only death. If the rulers of this world are unworthy of life, is he the one meant to end them? Is this power a gift or a curse that will plunge the world into darkness?
I can't breathe.
At that very moment, the first man fell. In a world where power was everything, where rulers believed themselves untouchable, death arrived, silent and without warning. No war, no coup, no poison, no bullet, just death. Pure, ruthless, and unexplained. Men who thought they controlled the world, who could move armies with a gesture, who dictated the fate of billions, erased, not with an uprising, not with a rebellion, just a thought. And in an instant, everything changed. It took less than an hour. The first name to fall sent a wave of panic through the world, but before anyone could react, the second name was gone, and then the third and the fourth. Like dominoes toppling one after another, the most powerful men on earth were reduced to nothing. No struggle, no visible pain, no moment to scream, just silence, and then the end. Leaders who shaped history, who had entire nations under their command, who had built empires that seemed invincible, were now powerless against something they could neither fight nor comprehend. Nothing in history had ever collapsed this fast. Empires had lasted centuries, some even thousands of years, but always they fell through war and revolution, through blood and chaos. This time there was no war, no revolution, only absence. And for the first time, Earth had no rulers. The world was in shock. Intelligence agencies, security forces, governments, armies, everyone was searching for answers. Was this an attack? But by whom? How? If it was a coup, where were the new rulers? If it was a biological weapon, why did it target only the powerful? No one could explain it. What had happened did not fit into any military strategy, any conspiracy, any known event in human history. Every government, every institution, every mind capable of critical thought was consumed by one question. Who did this? And more importantly, what happens now? A world without leaders was a ship without a captain. Governments crumbled. Armies stood frozen, waiting for orders that would never come. Economies trembled under the weight of uncertainty. Some people took to the streets, celebrating as if they had been freed from invisible chains. Others cowered in fear, terrified of the anarchy that might follow. In one corner of the world, there was hope. Hope that without rulers, humanity could rebuild itself into something better. Elsewhere, the fear was unbearable. If no one was in control, then who would stop what came next? Social media, news channels, political circles, everywhere became a new battlefield. Some believed this was an act of divine justice, a reckoning, a punishment for centuries of corruption and oppression. Others whispered of conspiracies. Was this a secret weapon beyond human understanding? Had an unknown force risen, wielding technology beyond anything the world had ever seen? But the truth was beyond speculation, and only one man knew the answer. Amidst the chaos, one man remained silent. He did not fear. He did not rejoice. He did not marvel at the fall of empires, nor did he tremble at the power vacuum left behind. He only watched. The Mouood! Was this his plan all along? Had he come to cleanse the world of its rulers? Or was this just the beginning? Did he seek to rebuild? To reshape the world into something new? Or would he simply stand in the shadows and watch it all burn? But the most important question of all, when power becomes so absolute that no one can challenge it, who ensures that power does not corrupt? When there is only one left, one man with a force greater than any army, any government, any human comprehension, will he not one day fall into the same darkness as those before him? Perhaps the real question is not who should rule. Perhaps the real question is ruling itself a corruption?